Hi, it's Mark from Top Local Lead Generation. We're trying again with Mr. Bernie Pawlik of Pawlik Automotive, 15-time winners of Best in Vancouver, Best Auto Repair in Vancouver. How are you doing today, Bernie?
Doing good. Doing good.
So hopefully no glitches from Google Hangouts this time, and we're going to talk about Subarus again today. So what part of the car are we talking about today?
We're talking about control arm bushings today, and not just Subarus, but control arm bushings in general. Control arm bushings are becoming a very frequent replacement service at our shop, and I think largely this is due to a redesign in the way control arm bushings are made, which has happened over the last 10 or 15 years. A bushing, in case you're wondering, and I'll share a picture here, is basically a metal sleeve. It's a flexible coupler. They're used throughout the car in various spots, but very predominantly in suspension systems. And the control arm bushing basically has a rubber sleeve, a metal sleeve on the outside, a metal sleeve on the inside, and it's held together by a piece of rubber. The rubber allows flexibility. There's basically, and control arms will have a variety. Some will have no bushings. They'll use a ball joint. Others will use 1 or 2 bushings, depending on the design of the vehicle. So a control arm, you might be wondering, what is a control arm? Let me just share a photo of a control arm here, if I can get my pictures going. The control arm, this is a view of the control arm. And basically the red arrow points to the arm itself. The arm bolts to the frame of the vehicle and runs out to the wheel area, and this is one part of the suspension system, so it allows flexibility and movement up and down of the wheel. The yellow arrow, just so you know, is the actual bushing that we've replaced, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get on with our talk. So what happens to these bushings? Well, as I mentioned, the bushings tend to seem to need replacement more frequently than others. You can see that the bushing with the yellow arrow actually is actually mounted vertically. And ever since they started doing this on cars, these bushings tend to wear out quicker for some reason. I'm not sure why they use this design, but for some reason it's popular, and they tend to wear more frequently. This is a view of the actual old bushing that's worn, and the blue arrow points to the crack in the bushing. Now, it's not that you can see a crack, but when it's on the vehicle, there's a lot of movement and flexibility that shouldn't be there. Eventually, if left long enough, this will completely crack apart and the wheel will flop around. It'll never come off, but it'll flop around significantly and cause clunks and some horrible noises. So interestingly enough, Subaru, and I'll share another photograph here. This is the Subaru we've been working on. It's a 2006 model. I have an older generation of Subaru, the previous version, which is a 2001 to 2004 model. They use a different design of bushing, and they never seem to wear. They're both horizontal. They're much thicker, and they tend to, well, it's, my vehicle has twice as many kilometers on it, and the bushings are still in great shape. So unfortunately, by design, this tends to be a worse design on this particular model of vehicle. Sort of annoying to see that kind of thing happen. It takes the reliability out of the vehicle, but I guess being in the auto repair business, I shouldn't complain because it brings more work to us. Did you have any other questions, Mark, or have I kind of covered everything?
Is this a uniquely Subaru problem?
Excellent question. The answer is no. It's not uniquely Subaru at all. There's many vehicles that use this bushing design, and it happens on all sorts of vehicles. It just really depends from car to car, but it is getting increasingly popular to use this type of design of bushing, and they tend to wear all, with 100,000, 150,000 kilometers, they all tend to wear out and need to be replaced.
So how would I know if any bushings are worn on my car?
Well, that's a good question. So what you would notice when you're driving your car is that when they get to be fairly badly worn, you'll notice you can notice clunks in the steering, or sorry, clunks when you hit bumps. Sometimes there's creaking noises. We had a Nissan Murano recently where when you put the brake on, just moderately, you could feel a thumping in the front end of the vehicle, and it just felt like the vehicle was a little unstable when you brake, like it would just pull a little bit to one side. and these bushings were quite badly worn. So yeah, creaks, clunks, thumping sounds in the suspension when you hit bumps or braking are all signs. It's always best to try to fix these before that. And I know I talk a lot about inspections. I mean, when we do our comprehensive inspections on vehicles, we're always looking at control arm bushings. So when we see them starting to crack, we recommend replacing them before they get bad. If you leave them too long, it'll cause some funny tire wear, handling issues. On the good side of it, you'd have to let them get so badly worn before it become really, really dangerous. So that's a good thing. It's not the kind of thing where the bushing is going to be slightly worn and then all of a sudden break apart. Just by the design, you can see that sort of hollow round tube design. It can't really come apart.
Anything else to finish off our little talk about bushings?
No. Well, other than, as I said, routine inspections are the best way to make sure they're in good shape. And just listen for clunks and thumps and bumps and brake pulls, and bring your vehicle in to get inspected. We can have a look at it and repair them.
Thanks, Bernie. So we've been talking with Mr. Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver, BC, 15-time winners of Best Auto Repair Shop in Vancouver, as voted by their customers. Give them a call, 604-327-7112. They work on all makes of vehicles and trucks, diesels, you name it. Thanks a lot, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark. We'll talk to you again next week.